Hey friends, this is former All-Pro wide receiver of the New York Jets, Wesley Walker. You are watching Jets Guru. My favorite producer, JR, is kicking off a new intro.
This is Daniel Smith from Jets Guru. Welcome to the show. All gas, no brakes. Let's go, Jets. Woo!
What's going on, Jets Nation? CJ the Painkiller D. Simone here, and you are watching Jets Guru. Now, give it up for your host, Mr. Daniel Smith!
Everybody, welcome to Jets Guru. We are getting closer and closer to the season opening up and Jets Guru being more of a full-time show for you guys. We got people on vacation. We got people trying to find new jobs. We got people who are sick. We've got people that we're trying to stitch Jets Guru together, and we are so close to getting there. We are almost full production. I am super excited for that. YouTube, thank you for tuning in. We're building our YouTube numbers. Please keep joining us on YouTube, by the way, so we can keep building and growing and bringing new and exciting Jet fans to our table. And Facebook, thank you for joining as always. Some of you might be joining us on our old Facebook page, which is our main Facebook page, but it's our hacked Facebook page. Who knows what it is, but we still have some kind of access to it. So we're sharing on there. We're sharing on our Jets Guru Live. So Jets Guru and Jets Guru Live, you will find our podcast also on YouTube. Thank you so much. And so JR's behind the scenes. He's making all the cool stuff that you see up here. That's why we look so pretty, and I appreciate it. And we can't wait to get going and get you guys more clips and more guests. And, you know, we're going to try to get Wesley Walker on again this season. We're going to try to see. I'm not sure, JR, if Coach is still working with Denver or not. We're going to have to check on that if he is. If he's not, he'd probably be more than welcome to come and join us again, which I loved having Coach Westy on to talk football. He was just absolutely amazing. I'd like to get, Amber on again, and with Jets Dolphins, so I'll have to talk to her. But we got to get the show moving and popping again and getting everything stabilized before we start bringing on some guests. Like get a good 4 weeks worth of regular season play, right, before we bring on some of the heavy guests. So thank you again for tuning in. But there's not a lot to report on Jets Guru, right? I mean, it's the off season, everyone's gearing up, but it's just rumors and speculation for most of it, right? Everybody wants to know. At first, it was the ankle, right, with Aaron Rodgers. Oh, what's going on with his ankle? Is there something wrong with it? He's grabbing it, even though he's adjusting his sock or stretching or whatever it is. Or you know what? It might just be sore. It's a serious injury. It might just be a little sore as he's rehabbing it from time to time, right? I think that is feasible. And then that kind of died away. And then everybody was talking about, is he going to be taking another one of his trips? And all of a sudden he missed some time. He missed camp time. And it's just like, he missed one day, of mandatories. If I'm not mistaken, he was there every day in phase 1. He was there at every OTA practice. I mean, guys, we gotta relax, man. Seriously, like we gotta calm down. Like, it's Aaron Rodgers. Like, yes, he had a trip to Egypt that was pre-planned. Do you really think that a couple of practices is really gonna stop this man from being the efficient person that he's always in? I don't think so. I think better offensive line play would be an absolute key. I think better offensive line play would be a key, a catalyst to keeping Aaron Rodgers the best version of himself. And I think the Jets keep doing a decent job at trying to shuffle the line, right? I think this is probably going to be the best collaboration of everybody put together that Joe Douglas has tried to put together on this line. You've got a good mixture of veterans with Smith and Moses, and you got a bunch of young guys on there. Some guys have a lot to prove, like Vera Tucker. He's a guard. He has a lot to prove. You know what? It's like you got to stay healthy, guy, at least for most of the season. He's super talented, but talent only takes you so far. And we saw that with Mekhi Becton. Now, it's a little bit of a different story with Vera Tucker. I think he's going to be more consistent if he could stay healthy than a Becton. But listen, you have to be available. You know, every sport, every league. I remember when I was a kid growing up, Grant Hill was supposed to be the next big thing, and he was super talented. And you saw it throughout the course of his career, but he could never stay healthy. And sometimes, you know, your best ability is availability. And for Vera Tucker, you know, playing half a seasons are great, but we need you for the second half and possibly a playoff push, possibly in the playoffs, right? We need you there. So for me, the way I look at it is he's got a lot to prove, you know? So young, was it second year center and Newgard and Simpson? I mean, there's the big guy at center. Big guy at center. Okay. So the line I think is going to be better, but obviously everything hinges on Aaron Rodgers. And I think that overblowing where he's going, especially when he's been to all of this stuff, other stuff already, I think it's getting a little bit out of control. And so, you know, it's going to happen. The media is going to do it, but we can't just allow it to happen as fans. We can't perpetuate it and push this narrative. We knew what we were signing up for. The Jets knew what they were signing up for. These are things that he's going to do. He's going to go on his trips. You know, he's going to do these things, and I'm okay with it, man. This is a grueling NFL season for these players. You could say whatever you want. These guys are millionaires. They get paid to do this. They get paid to do that. Whatever it is, that's fine, man. You could say whatever you want. But you're not out there getting hit by 6'5", 275-pound men on the field full force trying to come and get a paycheck and start a career. And this is how these guys wind up hurt. I don't know about you. Have you ever blown out an Achilles? Have you ever broken an arm by a grown man physically hitting you? Have you ever broke your collarbone or your hand or your shoulder or anything like that? No, I don't think so. So, and if you have, you would understand it's a very, very physical game. And to get mentally prepared to that for that and to get everything ready so that you can be the best performer, and it's something that you do every year. Why, as the New York Jets, would I want to change anything from this Hall of Fame man's career? As if the Jets have any legs to stand on as an organization to tell someone who's been doing something his whole career, like, hey, dude, I did this in Green Bay too. There was no problem. Like, what are we supposed to say to it? He'll be gone. He'll be back. That's simple. And I think we can really focus on what an exciting season this can potentially be for the New York Jets and how many positions, target positions, that the Jets that could be open. I mean, we're talking about starting number 2 running back. I mean, we thought we found one. We thought we found a few running backs to play. Not the case. Joe, like the offensive line, he shuffled running backs, and I don't blame him, man. Fresh legs, fresh ideas, you know, fresh schemes. Davis has been killing it, you know. 235 pounds? You know, I mean, those running backs that they drafted, I mean, these are quality backs that are going to come in and fill in for Breece Hall when they need to spell. And I mean, they could be legit pieces to this team. I mean, I always liked when the Jets had a 1-2 punch when it wasn't Curtis Martin, right? I like, in this day and age, it's good to have a guy that's a little bit more quick and shift, and another guy that's more of a bruiser, more of a big body for goal line situations. You've already had your star running back have a serious leg injury, and now I think the best thing is to not give him 30 carries a game and also, you know, a couple catches out of the backfield. Now, I know Breece has hefty goals at being one of the best, especially this year, a full year back from his injury, coming in probably a little bit stronger, not just physically, but also mentally as well, to be able to go out there. And he already killed it. We saw it last year, what he was able to do. What can he do now with protection in Aaron Rodgers? What can he do now with playing possibly with leads? What could he do now possibly with better field position than with the Jets offense? And what could he do now mentally, which we have already seen he's overcome the leg injury? So I understand the hefty goals, but at the same time, we need to also protect the young man. And then, if you're on the 1 or 2 yard line, why try to pad stats? And I understand why they want to risk an injury when you can get a bigger body guy, a guy with 25 more pounds on you, that can go in and score touchdowns on goal lines. And and I like that, and it breeds competition when you have all your second, your third, your fourth back all in contention. Excuse me, all in contention there with getting second team reps. I mean, that's great. Safety. How about safety, guys? We got a matchup at safety, right? Yo, you guys like my Hello Kitty mug? Anyways, hey, listen, when you live in a house with girls, you just use whatever cup you grab off the shelf. Anyways, for me, the safety position could be a lot better. I looked up and I saw that, let me see here. 7 out of the 19 touchdowns allowed. 7 out of the 19 touchdowns allowed in the air were allowed by the safety unit, particularly Whitehead. I think with Clark, you're going to have a little bit better performance there. I know Whitehead did have some interceptions. They came early, but he's more of an in-box than anything. So I think we could see a little bit better play. I think Adams as well, stepping up and taking another role for the Jets. I think another diamond in the rough that you may have found, he could be very helpful as well. When you look at Reddick, which we just had on the screen, I think he is a guy that I would be more worried about than Aaron Rodgers missing any time. I'm pretty sure that the Jets have a very, 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 very good reason to sign him. And I know he wants to get paid before he plays, but this team doesn't know you. And this is the way that you enter. I just think it's not a good look. And I'm not saying that it's going to affect his play. I'm just saying it's not a good look. And he better perform whenever he does show up. But I don't think the Jets should pay him necessarily. Now, there is some talk in the headlines about Reddick getting a potential verbal that he's going to get signed. I mean, I don't know, at some point, maybe do you say, okay, halfway through the season, we get you signed? We want to see you play, bro. You already said that you weren't going to play for the Eagles, and now you haven't played once, you haven't showed up to anything. And everyone is bought in. And what kind of tone does it set? Like Aaron Rodgers is even showing up to all these things. And so it's like, you got to show up too, dog. I don't know. The whole thing kind of just annoys me. But I'm hoping that he gets in and that this whole team is whole going into week 1. Everybody's whole. And I don't care what anybody says. I'm holding my breath until Aaron Rodgers plays a full game in a Jets uniform. I just am. Now, you could play percentages or what are the chances. I don't care. I'm a Jet fan. We've seen all our quarterbacks hit the dust, and I'm sick of it. I am really just sick of it. So, let's see. What Kobe said, we should have kept Bryce. Are we talking about Bryce Hall? Are you talking about Bryce Hall? And Scott said, with our roster, we need help at safety and guard. Yeah, I do believe that. There's going to be some guys that emerge, but at the end of the day, we say this every single year. You are not stashing quality guards on your bench. You may draft a young guy like the Jets have plenty of times where, he'll start maybe his second year, right? But his first year he plays behind a McGovern or something like that. I get it, right? Tippmann did it. I mean, he played behind McGovern. Now he's starting. I got it. Oh, Bryce Huff. We should have kept Huff. I see what you're saying. Yeah. Dude, I am with you 100% on that, on keeping Huff. He's younger. They should have just paid him, but they didn't. They felt like they could still get value, and they still feel like McDonald needs to go out there and do some things as well. So they feel like with McDonald's production increasing, they figure with Jermaine Johnson's production increasing, hey, maybe you could save a little bit. But then you get a player in Reddick, and then you're going to have to pay him anyways. Why not pay your young guy? I don't know. I really, really do. I really do. I don't. I just want to see him do what he did with the Eagles. If he just does that, then I'm happy. And hopefully he shows up. So, I really don't know what's going to go on with that. I really, really, really don't. But it's tough. It's not easy as a Jet fan. We've been through a lot, but I mean, there's not a lot of positions outside outside linebacker and coverage is going to be an issue. We're going to have to look at that. Middle linebacker, I really did like. I did like that Mosley lost all that weight and was able to play. I do like Quincy. I do like what they were able to do last year, but I hope they're going to be able to repeat that in coverage. I'm hoping that they can, just because that front's going to be able to put pressure on that quarterback. That's going to give an advantage, or at least slow down tight ends and receivers and crossing routes and people crossing their zones for those players. And then with their ability, their athletic ability, be able to get some more turnovers this year, more consistently. This year better than last, but that's something that the Jets are going to have to do. They have very high expectations going into this year for the defense when you really, really think about. Huff said he didn't want to rotate. That's just part of life, man. Welcome to the NFL. There's some defenses you're just going to rotate. And in general, I mean, some guys want to play like all 3 downs. And if I'm a pass rushing specialist, think about it. If I'm a pass rushing specialist, for me, I'd rather play most likely on those 3rd downs because I want to use all my energy going after the quarterback. I don't want to waste all my energy going in there trying to move linemen to tackle the running back. I want to go after the quarterbacks where the meat and potatoes are. So I want to play more on those. You know what I would have asked more or less? I would have said, I want to play more of 3rd downs and more like long positions, 2nd and 12, 2nd and 15s. 1st and 15s, put me in, maybe stuff like that. So you can really pin your ears back and go after the quarterback. So for me, that would be a better look for him, but we're going to see how he performs. I expect Huff to perform. He's a good player. So, I expect him to play well. So that's just me, personally. Scott said with better quarterback play, our defense won't be as tired at the end of the game. So the turns will come more often. I agree with that. We spoke about that with points too. We spoke about that with everything. The fact that like where your quarterback brings you to, even if they're not touchdown drives, we already know that some of those drives, Aaron Rodgers, they're going to be field goal opportunity drives. That's why I was glad we got Zuerlein back and someone that we know can perform in New York and kick in New York, who's comfortable here, because there's going to be a lot of opportunities. And I bet you that Zuerlein, for those fantasy guys, I bet you Zuerlein's going to be at the top of the board once again. He was for a large portion of his career, a big chunk of his career there. I think he'll be there again if Aaron Rodgers stays healthy, because we may not have touchdowns every drive. Will be an opportunities to get those field goals. And then once you do that and you start you already know Aaron Rodgers, 2 touchdowns a game, his efficiency. So if you're able to get, let's say, 1 out of your running back room, 2 out of your quarterback room, that's 3 touchdowns. I mean, that's 21 points right there. We've already seen what the Jets defense could do with 12, 13 points. I mean, we were just begging for like 2 touchdowns maybe for help. It's hard to hold that up. But maybe 21 to 24 points, 25 points a game or more, possibly, when you add those field goals in, maybe 26 to 29. You never know. I mean, the Jets have a very solid offense. I mean, they've got tight end sets where they've got tight ends who are in for blocking, for receiving. They've got slot receivers I like. I mean, they've got outside receivers I've like, running back rooms, quarterback. I mean, they've got it all. They just got to stay healthy and put it all together. And what's good, this isn't a new startup. Everything's been installed for a minute now. And so it should be a lot smooth for some of these newer players to come in. But with that being said, guys, there's not really that much to report. If anybody else wants to talk or get an opinion on something, you could type it in now as I wrap up the show and we could talk about it for a moment. I know I don't even want to hear Zach anything. Zach Morris, Zach Wilson, Zach nothing. I don't want to hear anything about Zach. Anybody names their kid Zach, worst name in the history of the world. Don't even care. I just don't want to hear it right now. What a big letdown. Big letdown for that kid. I wish him the best with the Broncos because he probably shouldn't have even started at all. Reddit contract opinion. I don't know. That's the thing. We haven't even seen him play, and he wants a contract. And then it's like, I don't know about that. I just don't know if I could commit to that without seeing him play. How about we do a verbal, and then halfway through the season, depending on how things are going, we'll get it done. Like, dude, you come out here, you get hurt. Dude, you come out here and you suck. And you want me to sign? You know Joe Douglas, how he is with his contracts and his values as well. You know he does not like to overpay for the value of the player at the position. You know that for a fact. Scott said there's a point during last year's season against us. If we had scored a league minimum, we would have been 14. I know there's so many of those stats out there, dude. It's crazy. And that's the thing. I don't want to waste this defense anymore, right? Like, do you? Like, I'm tired of wasting this defense. I'm tired of coming out here saying, man, if we just had a couple touchdowns on the board, bro, like, we'd be playoffs. Let's go. Like, you don't want to wake up one day and this defense is gone. It's like, we finally have a quarterback and receivers. You're like, come on, man. Now we got no defense. It's just like, it's really crazy. What do you think about Davis' second running back draft? A necessary pick or not? I agree. Like we just talked about, Thomas, saving Breece a little bit. And I actually love Davis. I really do. I love both of the picks. The guy from Wisconsin, and then I forgot the other one. I like both of the picks. Both good running backs for the value. Save Breece a little bit, gives you some options that if someone gets hurt, you still have a guy that's similar to Breece, and you still have a goal line type of a player. I like what they did there. I like what the Jets have done. To me, it's all about health. It's about staying healthy. I guarantee you, if Aaron Rodgers was healthy last year, we'd probably squeak in those playoffs, if anything. And they have a chance this year as well. They have a very solid team. Let's see. Got to pay our young stars next season. Yep, that's another thing. Young stars got to get paid. That's something that Joe's going to have to honor next time coming around. But let me tell you something. If the Jets suck, it does not matter what happens. It's going to be a free-for-all. Who knows what's going to happen? Who's going to get signed? Who's going to get tagged? We don't know what's going to happen. The most important thing for this organization is winning. Period. I don't care about anybody's contract. You finally have to come out here and win football games. Come out and win. So, like, I don't know. What are you laughing at, JR? You've been laughing the whole episode, man. Oh, you can't talk. That's right. You don't have the mic. Dang. But anyways, listen, guys. Super excited. JR, he's taking off. He's going to go have some fun. I got cleaning to do and stuff. And then in about 2 weeks, we're going to get back together and we're going to kill this, man, a weekly thing. Every Wednesday, 8 p.m. Eastern time. We'll have more topics as more things pop up. We don't want to overkill it and talk about the same thing every time, which is tough around this time. So we're working on some new stuff. As you can say, JR is hitting it with the cool layouts. We got Ty coming pretty soon on a regular basis. We got our street team with Victor, and Andrew, and they're going to hit it. And, hopefully we get some guests on and get this thing popping. So appreciate all the support on YouTube, on Facebook. Please share. Please tell your friends about it. Please watch. JETS. Jets.